Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to the latest narration of the web series Accidentally Adopted. If you're new to this series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description, and as always, I hope that you enjoy. Part 4, Chapter 13, Commitment. Dear Diary, Head Doctor. It's a pretty descriptive way to put it, but I guess Greg just gets along with the words he knows and just learns as he goes. In passing, I told him he was talking about a therapist. I'm really thinking about this. I hate how useless I felt when Yoiv was taken. I hate how useless I feel now. I should be able to do something. I should be able to help. The manufacturing equipment can do what we want, as long as we have the right textiles and stuffing. I should be happy about it, but with everything going on, I don't know if the project even matters. I think we're going to have a ship's meeting soon. I'm pretty sure that we have information on the good catch, and that can only mean Daddy is considering putting the wee thing in danger, which means a vote. I'm past my halfway. My vote counts. Log 6,001.1.01 Personal, Captain Yormdrill. Being interviewed is tedious. The major of the landers is an affable fellow, and he gets along with Gregory, which is well. But it is still not the most engaging thing to do. The actual debriefing was fairly straightforward, except the bit about finger removal. For some reason, Gregory and I didn't really remember how that ganger had lost so many appendages. The Major understood that there are some mysteries that simply have no explanations. There was one small exchange that was amusing, though. The leader of the strike force, the lieutenant, was surprised to learn that Gregory had led us, and not me. "Him," he exclaimed, "but he's so tiny and adorable." "He's standing right here," Gregory muttered irritably. The lieutenant flushed and said, "Apologies, Gregor." "Please, Gregor Sneaky. You folks have been butchering my name." He flushed deeper and said, "Sneaky, then, how did you get that name?" "The kids gave it to me when they thought I was their pet." "And you don't find it insulting?" "I find it hilarious," Gregory retorted with laughter in his voice. "Plus, I have a soft spot for kids." "A soft spot?" "I automatically have affection for children in most cases," he explained. "Well, isn't that normal?" "I guess so, but some people find kids annoying," Gregory said with a shrug, "or at least not very interesting. For me, though, there's less likely to be afraid or overawed." "Afraid?" "Back home, I have something of a reputation as a sniper." "A military man?"
"Yes."
"So that's your military tradition and formal uniform?"
"Well, I couldn't model some of the details correctly, and we couldn't get brass buttons cast with the right color. And it's missing the devices in my ribbon block, but it's close enough. No way in the void am I going to wear those stupid tactically limiting robes again."
The lieutenant burst out laughing and said, "I've yet to meet a man who enjoys wearing formal robes. I think the only reason they yet exist is that the women like how we look in them."
"The things we do for love," Gregory said without missing a beat.
True. But if you dislike the robes for how cumbersome they are, why do you desire a ribbon block? What is a block of ribbon anyway?
"Oh, the ribbons are very simple, and arranged in a block to display my awards and qualification at a glance in non-combat situations."
Much like the various star marks for a ship, let you know where to look for a good crew for a job, to which I tried not to flinch.
"If you're too good with digging, they give you a bigger shovel," Gregory said.
I surmised it was a proverb from his culture, probably the culture of his profession specifically, but it wasn't difficult to pick up on the meaning. "That's why I was promoted to command the strike team that was prepping to land when you sent up all those prisoners."
"You should have used drop pods,"
Gregory almost sang with a smirk. I still don't know whether I believe him about dropping soldiers in pods from orbit.
"Drop pods?" "Orbital insertion drop pods, way faster than riding a shuttle."
"You have to be joking," the lieutenant said with an unamused flat tone.
"Of course not. I have only ridden a shuttle down to combat twice. All other insertions have either been by stealth drop pods or boarding torpedoes."
"Boarding what?"
"Torpedoes. Basically, they're escape pods with a ramming prow."
The lieutenant's eyes bulged, and he clearly couldn't fathom my idea.
"What if they miss?" "They get recovered after the engagement. Usually. In one case, an infantryman with some engineering training hot-wired some controls to turn the torpedo around and hit the target anyway. Owen Robertson, that guy was an extraordinaire. That guy who always does the riskiest possible move, but somehow doesn't die.
I know several of that guy.
Every operator does.
This from someone who claims that drop pods are normal?
They are, Gregory said blandly. It's standard naval ground assault insertion. We clear the way for the army to come down with the heavy equipment. That is, if we're fighting an actual war. For things like a pirate base, usually the naval infantry are good enough.
Is your entire race insane?
How should one of us know?
For my part, I found the entire exchange delightful to watch. It would be very much like Greg to trick the lieutenant for a joke, but on the other hand, he didn't use his past as a way to make jokes at our expense before. Still though, such a thing strains credulity. Less amusingly, we gained access to the collated data from the captured devices, and ran a cross-reference program with the data Gregory mysteriously obtained. There are 8 stations and 6 planetary spaceports that were confirmed to be connected to criminality across 5 nations. None of them are very safe. Sailing those stars will put the Weesing in significant danger. I shall have to put it to a vote. It would not be right to risk my crew's home without their consent. Journal entry 35, date 173, name Greg George.
Get wrecked, fecking slowpokes. Fecking blown away that these guys don't even use boarding torpedoes. Can't get counterboarded if you don't hook your ship up to the enemy ship. Modern problems. Anyways, I have some leads on where home is. More importantly, I have some leads on where the GF, who has classified information, is. So long as the fecker is out there, my brother's rest is not secured. Fecker. Journal entry 36, date 174. Name Greg George. Holy fuck, just feck. Holy fecking feck. Holy fecking goddamn fecking feck. Jesus almighty himself aiming my fecking drop pod. Holy feck. I'm blown the feck away. I can't even process how fecking amazing the Weesing is. Just feck me sideways, twice on Sundays. Feck. Dear Diary, well, we're pirate hunters now. Or maybe poacher hunters, whatever. I'm kind of worried about Greg, though, but not the usual reason. He's been staring into nothing for the past 3 hours and grunting when someone wants to talk to him. Mom is going to try cooking some meat for him. Log 6,001.1.02. Personal. Captain Yormdrill. Well, I called the meeting. It was the only really important thing that happened today, since we're still docked. Stars, it feels downright uncomfortable to be stationary this long. Everyone had gathered in the galley, even the children. I had never contemplated a course of action that I would seek consent of the crew to commit before. We have held some votes, but mainly when Trevdy and I could not decide between 2 options. I laid out the facts for the crew as I saw them. A short time ago, Trandy had her halfway, and her gift was to be the adoption of a pet from a rescue shelter. This decision changed the lives of everyone aboard, as the pet we adopted turned out to be our beloved Gregory. Crew and friend to some of you, family to others. Some of you have been made privy to what parts of his history he shared, and know that he carries a great weight, though he is strong enough to bear it. I've heard from some of you that you are glad to have such a man to help us keep the children fit, as it clearly benefits the ship as much as it does him. I've heard that he is a delight to the children and the parents alike, and the ongoing dodgeballs in the quarters deck is an unending source of fun. Team Sneaky will know defeat eventually. Some crowd politely chuckled for me. Eventually. I do not think I need to reiterate how he led us in the away team. I lay this out because I want it to be known that even though Gregory's adoption by the Among the Star Tides We Sing was accidental, he is one of hers, one of ours. I had to pause for an appreciative murmur of assent. What's more, we are his. During our mission, we obtained information on the activities of the criminal scum who had kidnapped and abused one of ours, our Gregory. Though without that scum, we would have never had him. That does not absolve them, in my view. What's more,
The kidnapper likely has information that might lead us to being able to make contact with Gregory's people. They likely wish to know he is safe amongst us. It is, however, among perilous stars that we must sail if we are to pursue this criminal. It is into danger we must send our heading, and our very we sing in that danger. I refuse to order you to follow this course, therefore I call for a vote.
Gregory had listened with everyone else, his eyes growing wider all the while. But before I could begin the vote, he stepped forward and said, "Before you decide, I want to say that I want to stay here. I want to retire from my old job and have a life after service, because I don't want to leave. Well, here's the problem. That criminal knows where Sanctuary is, and that puts my brother's rest at risk. So long as he's out there, they can't be safe in the place that we set aside for their safety. If you decide against the Wee Sing going after him, I promise I will find my way back. I will come home." The vote was unanimous. We sail into the shadows. End of story.
I would just like to thank the T5 supporters: Bushmaster117, Casper Arnholtz, Dragzoon W.R.E, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, Jon Carrington, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.